And good evening, everybody. Welcome to another night of North American ESEA Premiere. My name is Boggs, and I'm joined once again by Laz. And well, my friend, it's another night, more NA action, and more good Counter-Strike to watch.
Oh boy, do we have ourselves a great game. We have Third Impact versus GGPR. I mean, I'm ecstatic for this. I mean, we were doing a lot of homework on these teams. We've been seeing a lot of things resulting from these squads. But now this is a big statement that's coming in for Third Impact. I mean, they haven't been able to pick up a W yet, Boggs. So for them, this is for them just to get their first win of the season.
Yeah, and GGPR now looking to cement themselves in towards that top half of the bracket, in towards that top half of their conference, and get themselves a spot in the playoffs for back-to-back seasons. You know, it's a team that just is hot off another 2-0 win. We saw them last night, had to grind out a 2-0 over Eros, but Third Impact, they lost to that Eros squad 2-1 in their first game of the season, and their next one was against Extra Salt, which is no easy opponent. So for them right now, they're gonna have to find a way out of these doldrums, out of the slump, and back into the win column.
No, completely. And I mean, this is even the roster from Third Impact. I mean, we could talk about these guys all day. Like, I mean, they were at, a couple of other events. They did some great showings, but it just seems like ever since they had that first loss against Eros, they just haven't been able to be themselves that we typically see from a Third Impact squad. I mean, like you said, their biggest victory was a 16-14 on Overpass, which, I mean, Eros really gave it to them on that week one where they won like 16-8 and a 16-12 on the respected maps as well.
Yeah, and for a team that was just fresh out of advance, it's a great win for them to pick up over a team that's been in Premier for a couple seasons now. But for Third Impact, you have to wonder what the problem is. This is a team we've seen come up with just grindy games that somehow get them wins and keep them in Premier, but right now they're struggling even against some of those opponents you would expect them to consistently beat. So to go up against a high-flying GGPR team now, you have to worry for them as the schedule doesn't necessarily get easier for the Third Impact side either.
No, and I mean, we're just not seeing the same squad that we saw before. I completely agree with you. And I mean, that's kind of the thing. This roster has been together for quite some time. There was a little bit of that, shuffle, we'll call it, quite some time ago. But I mean, again, that can play some factor in this. I mean, when you play with a squad for a long period, yes, it's great to have that consistency with having the same players, but obviously there can be things that really start to, boil up and stew, which can create some unresulting things that you want. I mean, being 0-2, that could be the demonstration of that.
Yes, indeed, but let's get into the vetoes here, see how all these teams did in the pre-game mind games. Best of 3 veto. First one going to be Ancient coming out from GGPR, and then Third Impact banning GGPR's home map of Dust 2.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good. I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty impressed with these picks so far. I think there's a lot of good strategic decisions that are being made so far. I mean, Boggs, we saw before Nuke being on the table, there was some pretty high level, or not even high level, high round games. I mean, that was a 26-28 game that GGPR had against Triumph that they lost. So, I mean, these guys being able to go back onto Nuke, they probably learned a thing or two as well.
Yeah. And that's no easy Triumph squad. They're a team that we expect to be in that top half of the bracket every single time. One of the better teams in this division of North America. And to take Triumph that far on this map means GGPR have a lot going for them. I believe they also had a 19-15 loss to RBG, another top North American team. So for them, they have some good results. Not quite a win, but they're able to go the distance and at the very least get that 15th round, which is half the battle sometimes. Then we go over to Overpass, the pick of Third Impact. I think that's a really good one, seeing as GGPR don't really play it. They played it once in the last 3 months. They did not win it, and their T side looked very abysmal. That was against RBG. But this next ban from Third Impact, I just want to say I really like their ban strategy coming in here. Vertigo is a map neither of these two teams play. GGPR, they played it about 4 times. It's not necessarily a map they like to favor. They're not going to ban it outright. Third Impact hate the map. They play it once, they at all. So they go and ban GGPR's best, and they save that second Vertigo ban for later. That's a fantastic ban strategy.
No, it completely is. And I mean, now the fact that we're even on the decider as well. I mean, it's a map that both these teams are pretty even based on. So, I mean, that's kind of the bit of the gamble. But I mean, right now, having the picks the way they did land, I'm pretty impressed. And I mean, this could be a pretty good showing and a good opportunity, maybe potentially. It's hard for me to say. I mean, I just feel like both teams really have a lot to prove. I mean, GGPR are 2-1 in the season, whereas Third Impact, I mean, that hunger's definitely got to be kicking in now for them.
Yeah, and with hunger can come desperation. With desperation can come mistakes. So Third Impact are going to have to learn how to temper that hunger, how to use it as fuel instead of running rampant and wild like a cornered beast, because that can be dangerous, but let loose, it can lead to your own undoing too. They still have Triumph. They still have RBG in line to play this season in this regular season. Those are two very difficult teams to take on. Coldest Riders are doing decent. Verum as well as another team that they're not going to have an easy time because there's really no easy games this season in Premier. So for Third Impact, they need to get that goose egg broken. They need to get at least to 1 and 2 here, I would say, to really be able to build something out and try and stay out of that relegation zone.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing I keep talking about with Third Impact is, I mean, they were playing at some LAN events as well. So again, that's a great thing as a team to kind of build that cohesion, build the chemistry, work out all the kinks. But I mean, we're getting there. And now this is the moment we're finally waiting for. These teams are finally going to start things off. We're going to be playing on the first map. Boggs, I'm excited.
Oh, you and me both. It's one of my favorite maps. It is new. GGPR versus Third Impact. Let's get into it. Here we go, pistol round going to commence here pretty quickly. Let's see what kind of utility GGPR want to go here, starting on the T side. No nades, so I don't suspect we'll see the A pop here, but they do have a smoke and a flashbang, and they've given the raid boss P250 to Exceed, a dangerous player to hold on to that pistol on T. Dangerous though, he's got dual Berettas and armor. This could get a little interesting.
Well, they wanted to bring the best pistols, of course, for us, Boggs. I mean, I know you're a big advocate for the dualies. I mean, now the fact that we see it in the hands of Dangerous, he's been one of those players on the squad, you know, statistically, he's been able to be the clutch player, the one player that's actually putting up some pretty good numbers. We're going to have to see if he can come up clutch with these frags, but it's already looking so well done. Third Impact is completely mowed down the Squeaky. It's a funnel, and that funnel is going right into the mouth of Third Impact, and so far, it's only one player to drop.
It started off with a blind kill by Walker, and he ends it through the smoke. Dane on top of Hut, mowing things down with the dualies. That's why they are so viable on a pistol round. The rate of fire you can put down range with those pistols is so incredible to hold an angle like that. And then Brett chimes in too. I was not expecting GGPR though to go for that A-pop. They didn't have the nade for Squeaky. Yeah, they had a smoke and a flash, but they completely telegraphed that by opening the door. Then it slows them down, and they run into a meat grinder.
Oh, they completely do. And I mean, this is now where Third Impact are going to be trying so hard to build up as many rounds as possible. Like we talked about, this is GGPR's pick. So, I mean, for them, they had some really close games. I mean, they went, you know, an 0-2 loss versus Triumph, but they went the absolute distance. I mean, that might not be able enough to say it, but really for them to go into that many overtimes is making a big statement already. And look at all the outside control that they already have possession of. Brett, going to be towards Squeaky. We have Dangerous on side of ramp. A little bit of commotion, but now GGPR, they're going to be able to push. This is a bit of a dry round here. Nothing really big to expect in terms of utility. And already now, Third Impact. It's brutal picking.
Walker, Brett, Grape, all chiming in. Walker back-to-back 2Ks, something good to build his confidence. When Walker gets going, his op is always a menace to deal with, something difficult to find an answer to, and to see him starting things off well with the pistol and now the AUG, it's a good sign for him. He hasn't really been up to his usual form as of late, and it's something I want to see him back to, because when he is hitting his stride, when he is hitting everything, he can be one of the best operators in this division.
No, he completely can be. And I mean, it's just the thing, when you have like a little bit of those issues as the team, I mean, that really does create that effect. I mean, Walker, we always seen all these highlight reels and everything like that, but when you're not able to pull through, it does really change the dynamic of the team. So we'll have to see. Things are getting a little bit better now since a few of those events, and it's clean up around. Third Impact, pick it up with ease, not even taking very much damage. It was only Walker that took about just 25 damage, so nothing serious. But now the buy round's coming through. GGPR, this is where they're going to have to put where the money in the mouth is and see what they can make work of. So far, they haven't been able to pick up more than one frag, Bugs.
And Inshaniak is going for a Deagle utility. This is a very curious play. He's going to sacrifice that firepower to have a full belt of util. And somebody who put up 29 kills in map number 1 yesterday, sacrificing to go to a Deagle, it's a very selfless play, and it goes to show something about the GGPR team culture, where they're all willing to do whatever it takes to win the round.
Yeah, that's a really good teammate. I mean, the fact that you're just going to go for a straight utility, hopefully going to be able to pick up this weapon, but it is going to be Brett. He's close up 5, but he gets the double. They completely don't check it, and now he's been able to get 2. He hasn't been able to fall yet. The bomb's still up, though. GGPR have control of this. Molly's going to land on him. He's getting roasted alive, completely caught in the crossfire. GGPR finally take him down, but now they have a lot to work with here.
That 2-for-1 trade for Brett is absolutely huge. It really sets Third Impact up for a third round win and to shut this round away, keeping GGPR off the scoreboard and probably away from a bomb plan too. Beaky's going to be lurking in towards the lobby area now, over towards ramp. Could flank through hell, but he'll just drop a smoke there instead. Here's the play coming in, and he turns on Grape. Walker will fall away here, and now it's a 3v3. A window of opportunity is open for Third Impact as they start to work their way around the map. B-side still in the vein of possibility for them. The bomb finally making its way, but it has been spotted. Insane knows they're not going heaven in just about 2 seconds here as they will not cross. And all the way down on the B side, it's going to be Dangerous. He was actually going to retire, lads. He was going to hang up the mouse, and he came back when his team needed him, and now he's one of their most effective players coming in here. Bomb goes down. They know where 2 of these players are. Walker's been found, and Shawniak swings. The AK in his hands, not quite the op he is so fond of, but it is working out well so far. Beaky finds Insane out towards decontamination, and now it's all down to Dangerous in towards Radio. Sends a nade forward. It will not make a mark. These players are all about half, so the MP9 could find a marker too. That spam from Lowrider does so much damage. Now Beaky's on the hunt. They want this last kill. I don't think they'll go too far for it, I wouldn't suspect. And Beaky will get tagged by his own teammate on the way out there. But all 3 will survive from GGPR, and Dane should be alive as well. But from the brink of defeat, GGPR salvaged that round. Brett did everything right there. Just nobody else could help him out.
Yeah, it's still a really good round for Third Impact, all things considered. I mean, that was, call it the bonus round, if you will. But now they're going to finally be able to put everything on the board for them. But GGPR, I mean, they do pick up their first round, and they take it in pretty decent fashion. But, I mean, it came right down to 3 players that were really low on HP. And Shawniak does now get the op out ready to go, picking the big green out, whereas Walker's only got the scout. Seed actually does have some good outside control already, putting some pressure onto Brett. And this is where GGPR have been able to be very successful. They're getting this outside control very slow, very methodical, waiting things out, not trying to play too aggressive yet, but now they have this possession. It makes it harder for Third Impact.
This outside control, even if GGPR decide not to use it, they're going to have that seed of doubt in the mind of Third Impact. It really makes things tough for the CT side. They could be down secret. They could be anywhere at this point in the round. And Third Impact, you're starting to see the signs of them struggling a little bit. Walker taking shots at the smoke, not going to be able to land anything just yet. Nobody there really for him. And Shawniak's holding for a push, still very low in Lowrider. Creeping forward has Exceed too. Exceed, another dangerous player on the side of GGPR. Him and Shawniak, really those 2 you expect to pop off on any given Sunday. Lowrider, though, can always come up with a key round for his squad. The wily vet, always one to put up consistent numbers. Then you have the likes of Beaky and JT who can shine when the need arises. Dangerous, the lone defender on B. Another one of those veteran players who is a very tough nut to crack.
I mean, even JT has some really good control, so he's already inside of radio, so now they're going to be able to push into lower. George has to lock this down. He's able to find the first one, takes down JT. That threat's been neutralized for the time being. Now they're going up vent, so they're completely switching up the plan. They're trying to push up through upper, but they completely get squashed in Third Impact. They make a big impact with that third round for them.
Let's look at this again on the replay here. All of a sudden, you just see Third Impacting all the kills. They move them all down up the vent rush, and it's just flawless there coming in from this double stack on A. A is on lock right now, and GGPR are not invited to the party. Deco out now for the T side, and Walker now has a big green gun in his hands, courtesy of Shawniak. Let's see if GGPR can grow this lead. Exceed takes a little bit of damage. Beaky deals some in the end onto Dane. But as it stands, both teams exchange some broadsides, and neither team is too worse for wear. But Third Impact are setting themselves up well for a big string of rounds here, and to grow a nice lead on the CT side in the early going.
Yeah, I mean, statistically as well, Third Impact, they primarily win most of the rounds on the CT side. So for them, they need to scrape as much as possible. Where in comparison, I mean, to be honest, I mean, yes, CT side for the other side of GGPR is more favorable, but the T side is not bad when you look at things.
Yeah, it's not that bad at all, and it is kind of more in line with what you expect from a modern nuke. T side, but Brett is going to get himself the first Exceed those Deagle. 1 kill, has a chance for another. Out towards Unbreakable, Insane falls. Walker jumps in towards Coat Room, but Exceed is still on the hunt. Walker finishes off Beaky, and now it's all down to Exceed. Spiked in from behind. It's Dane to finish the job, but still 2 kills go the way of the T side, and that's not too shabby whatsoever. That is definitely some good economic damage here. Keep Third Impact a little honest in terms of economy. They're going to be back on the buy. Still 2 Wakies in hand. Walker has his op, and it's found a mark.
Yeah, and it's a good thing to see. I mean, we were talking about Walker and the impact that he can make. No pun intended. But I mean, he's got the oppo right now. He's 6-1. He's one of the top fraggers on this squad, right behind with Brett. Now he's going to get tested a little bit more here. So they're actually putting a lot of pressure outside. Exceed actually making the cross into secret. So Walker might not have been able to spot that. So there's some good map possession already obtained from GGPR. Exceed already pushing himself inside of the lower tunnel in secret. Whereas right now, you can see he can get this information, but he gets completely caught, and Brett just annihilates him at the right moment, at the right time.
That's the definition of timing there. Exceed is probably wondering how he missed that, but Brett is definitely having himself a game so far. Catching the timing, it just seems to continue how well he's been playing. The flank of it from Dane in towards hell, but he gets shut down by Shaniak, who's now harassing Walker. The flame should burn him down. He will not find another, but in comes Grape. Brett has another flanking in. The pincer works out well. Brett gets himself a hat trick. Grape comes in with another. And Third Impact 5-1. 4 rounds up. This is a great start for them.
Yeah, this is really good utility usage that we see from GGPR, but I mean, Brett is just absolutely bulldozing everybody he comes in crossfire. I mean, right now he's got 9 frags, and I mean, statistically on this team, he's got one of the highest ADRs. He's got 83, where everybody else from Third Impact is quite low so far in this season, but Brett's still just doing Brett things, just pulling up big numbers, and now Grape is able to get a couple as well, and this is just getting squashed in GGPR, completely give up the round, only picking up a frag, and Third Impact have themselves a great start on their CT side.
They walk right into the meat grinder again on A. Grape on top of the silos, gets himself a few kills. And the rest of the team there to chime in too. I'm surprised there has not been a timeout taken by GGPR. It's pretty much everything they've tried, aside from that miraculous bonus round win they had, which realistically, Third Impact should have won that round too. It's gone awry. It's gone astray, and it has not even been that close.
Yeah, this is a moment where they should be calling that timeout. They want to make sure they can get some exposure. If they don't pick up this round, this is probably where we're going to see it. And look at this Boggs already. Both Brett and Walker, the 2 top fraggers of the squad, they're completely just bullying their way outside. And Lowrider finally takes down Brett. But he's still stuck outside by himself. He's got the bomb. But his teammate's not close, but he's able to actually catch Walker with the big jump. Not able to dash himself out of this. It's a 2-on-3. This is top positioning here for GGPR.
And now Grapes just spotted Beaky out. Silo, that nade should chunk him down. Decent. Actually, no, Beaky does dodge the damage, but still a 3v2. A chance for GGPR to turn this around. And Lowrider's picked up an op. He makes himself a decent secondary opper. He's just waiting for someone to cross in. He's already picked up 2 kills. He might just get himself a chance for a 30. Spots out Insane out towards Heaven. But he's not going to get the chance just yet. Insane's going to drop in towards Coat Room, and Lowrider backs away towards Red, regrouping with Beaky. Damage onto Grape. Smoke goes in towards Mini. The nade, and it dunks right onto Grape. Perfect throw by Beaky. And now with Insane and Dangerous in a 2v2, time becomes the essence for GGPR. They have to make the right call. A is locked down. Both these CT players are here. But time's a factor. GGPR can no longer ignore. They have to go A. Beaky knows one's in Heaven, throws the flash up high. He's gonna run with it, but he's not gonna do it the right way! Insane's blind, but he still lands the kill, and Dangerous picks up Lowrider. Insane might fall down the ladder to his doom, but it doesn't matter. We have the Brazil score line now, and Third Impact 7, GGPR 1, and no bomb plant again from the T side.
Oh, now this is where they're just going to force up. They're going to spend everything they can. They are getting desperate. And the utility is there a little bit for GGPR. That's the saving grace for them, but they need to change up their plan. They need to figure out what is the weakness here from Third Impact. We're not seeing it at all yet. Third Impact have been able to play a very stellar CT side, having the clutch play from pretty much every player. Everybody's really starting to step up when they need to. And that's the one thing we were criticizing, but right now they're really coming alive. And Lowrider gonna be able to go cruise control and take down Grape. A nice trade comes right back. It's to a 4-4. The op still remains in possession of Walker on side of ramp. And GGPR getting a little bit more antsy towards his inner take potentially.
Dane reveals his position in towards first vents, and it's mainly a one and done, but the way he's been playing, the way Third Impact have been playing individually, you might very well see 2 or 3 kills from this position. He's actually going to drop down the vents. A wise decision here. Succeeds, ready to go forward. Walker has ramp on lock. They have the confidence that he's there. They've completely given up that hell control. They're all waiting for this play. That smoke's going to reveal an insane pop for one. Sprays away blind, does a lot of damage. Brett will come in for the mob, but Shaniak will trade it back. 2v2 here, a little bit of a costly round as Third Impact don't have a lot of cash built up in the tank. But JT has spotted out the offer. Up comes Dangerous. Nobody's unable to land the shots. And Shaniak headshot. He spotted out Walker, and it's JT to finish. GGPR finally convert another round here on the T's side. It comes down to the wire again, but it is a good result for them at long last. They don't call the timeout, but they still get the round they wanted. And if Dangerous converts that spray right there, it's a completely different round. But instead, Shaniak pops off the bomb, pops his Grape, and then JT's right there on the Walker.
Yeah, I'm so glad the production was able to capture that moment, because I mean, if Dane would have been able to find that frag, that really could have turned things around, making it even more problematic for GGPR. But the little bit of a whiff, you know, the nervousness or something, I mean, it definitely kicks in. And that's just not what you want to see. Walker's still able to have enough money in the bank for that op, so he's the one player right now that he's going to have to deliver something very big. He's going to have to create some space. I mean, Grape's got the XM. I mean, it can do damage. But I mean, he's now banking on the fact that GGPR are going to go for this early aggression. But BK able to find 2. Nicely done, cleaned up already, putting Third Impact on the boards with 3.
And now, that's the shotgun that I thought could be a big problem out of the picture. Brett's just chunked down, and Shaniak. Walker finishes off JT. We're back to a 3v3 here. We're looking to exceed out towards credit. Perfect play there, waiting for Brett to walk into his crosshair. Walker is oh so low too. A lot of this is going to rest on the shoulders of Dangerous. And he has been timed out by Beaky. Perfect play right there. And then Walker just has to save the op now. He was the only one with any cash. He has spent it up. But with that HP, that gun, there's really no chance for a 1v3.
I mean, this would be a really good moment now for Third Impact to even call their timeout, because right now we have seen GGPR being able to pick up a couple rounds in a row. Nothing too major, but at the same time, you want to slow that momentum down. You want to make sure that GGPR aren't just still running on full steam ahead. You want to be able to stop that as much as possible. And now this is pretty convincing rounds we've seen from them on the T side. They have themselves a 7-3. I mean, it's nowhere near close yet, but definitely is doable.
If they get 6 rounds to this T side, I think GGPR will be happy. Third Impact at the start they had, I think would be rather upset with that, as a matter of fact. And for Third Impact, you know, this is their opportunity to really establish their stranglehold. The money for GGPR isn't even that good still, as. But because of the lack of a buy here on the CT side, it's going to give GGPR that red carpet back into this game, back into this half.
Yeah, I mean, Walker's the only player on this squad right now with the utility, burning the smoke already on side of ramp, but he's going to get himself in a really good position. He's going to try to go all the way around into secret to see if he can counteract the aggression here from GGPR. This could be really good, but Exceed might be able to catch him, and he does. Walker falls, he gets dropped, and now the big threat, the big heavy hitter gun is completely taken away from Third Impact. And now Brett's just getting roasted alive. He's already down to 20 HP, but he does actually retrieve this somehow.
No way. I don't know how he gets out of there alive, but he does manage it in the end. But Exceed does know where he is. However, the op could keep Exceed a little more honest. Brett's out towards double, moving in towards radio. Dangerous up on top, shows, and actually does finish off Beaky. But there's still a couple more players here ready to face, and Shaniak, though, will back up. And then Dangerous is going to aggress, pick up the AK. They're going to rotate back in towards A. Grape. No ammunition, has to swap to the knife. It will yield. There's no cuts and no dices. Bomb goes down, 4v3, Exceed holding down outside, trying to make sure they cannot save and also get himself a little bit more kill reward cash. Brett has the op in secret, dangerous and towards spawn, saving the AK. Brett could give a parting gift of a kill. And the thing is though, he sends that op downrange once, he's revealed his position, and with that health, a stray bullet would kill him.
Yeah, he completely cannot scope. If he scopes, I mean, his position is completely given away. But Exceed actually does take himself away from that position, so Brett is in a good spot. But if they could save these two weapons, this could be really huge for them, because now they can still transition them. And I mean, that was a gimme round, right? I mean, Walker was the only person on the squad that had, you know, the most utility, which again was nothing, and he had the op. But now they get it. It's a big round for GGPR, but this should be the good impact as well for the CT side. They can get that all back in the hands of Walker. Now this is where we're going to see a timeout will be finally used.
I think it's a long time coming here. It's definitely a very long time coming, but this actually might be a tech here. I'm gonna take a peek real quick and double check on that, because I have a sneaking feeling this is a tech. Oh yeah, no, it's a third impact timeout. So it is going to be third impact calling the pause, and rightly so. They've lost a few rounds in a row, 3 to be exact. They had such a good amount of momentum in a lead, and they're in a pretty critical situation themselves. The money on GGPR is very strong, and for third impact, they're still in that danger zone. They lose this round again, it's 6-7, and what started out as a good half for you is now in the danger of being a lost half.
Do you have that op and op action? Both Walker and Shawniak do have the ops on opposite sides here. Looks like a little bit of a setup here from GGPR. So we have the Molotovs that are getting lined up. JT and both Sean getting ready for the execute that will be coming into the inner bomb site now. And Sane going to get pushed off his position. Gets completely caught. Beaky able to find him. And that's only the one trade that comes in, but Beaky able to get himself 2 so far. This is now problematic here for third impact. They only have Brett that's close by. He's in the vent, so he's not even in the site. GGPR really playing this really slow. They don't want to go for the aggressive plan yet. They're still waiting things out. Why would they? They have lots of time.
They don't have a lot of utility. That Molotov was the only piece of zoning utility they had left. They have a nade and 2 flashbangs, and 1 or 2 of those pieces actually in the hands of the low HP player of Beaky. But then again, third impact, they have a flash and a Molotov. Their utility is burned incredibly low too. In goes that flash. The peek comes in from Dane. The Molotov lands as well. But Beaky, he's still here, in towards Mini, and he's gonna spot out Brett. Has the kill. They know where both these two players are. They do not know where JT is, but I think they might have spotted Dangerous. Beaky falls, 2v2. Smoke on the bomb, and Dane hits 2. Making a third for Dangerous. He basically 1v3s there on the site. Headshots on 2. The spray onto Beaky. Walker was holding the bomb in 2, and it's a perfect play, trusting your teammates. Let's watch this again because it looks so good for GGPR here, and then Dangerous drops onto Hunt, and then drops these last 2 players while Walker holds distraction and sticks that bomb. What trust in his teammates to find those kills? And Dangerous, that is as clutch as you can get, and you called him clutch. He pulled up.
He absolutely pulls up. I mean, that one whiff that we saw a few rounds ago, Dane said, you know what? I'll make a redemption. I will make the comeback. And that is a very good way for that to happen. Walker, he was pretty much just sticking the defuse as much as possible. So Dane, like you said, put that into a 1v3 in a very crucial round for third impact. And that was the timeout that came in as well. But it comes right down to the big clutch play from these original members of this long-standing squad.
Yeah, I mean, this is a squad in third impact that's been together for quite some time now, up against a GGPR team which seems to get picked apart every single second of the day. Well, they're going to lose now JT, so they'll go to a 4v4. Let's see if GGPR can strike back. It's Beaky again, who's really starting to heat up here on Nuke. It's a good sign from him. He's starting to really take the aggression and open things up for this GGPR team. They needed someone to give them space to open things up. They lacked that in those first several rounds. They finally found that answer. It seems to be Beaky just going aggro. And he's just on the other side of a smoke with Grape. He'll force him away, and I think third impact are actually going to save here and concede this 5th over to GGPR. This looks like a wide open half for third impact. It looked like they were going to run away with this one and potentially even this map, go into overpass their map pick with a very solid map win. But now things seem to have changed, Laz, and I'm almost feeling like GGPR, despite being down now 3 rounds, still have that momentum. And I would say I feel incredibly confident in them on their CT half.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, and this is, for them to pick up, a couple more rounds, this is going to be the cherry on top because, like we said, their CT side is definitely where they are the most successful when they play Nuke. But this is a team that I was talking about. I mean, they went the absolute distance before on this map against, a very good team. I mean, Triumph, everybody knows Triumph, so I don't even need to talk about Triumph. But I mean, again, when you're going into like a bajillion overtimes on a map like this, you're starting to feel really good about it, and they're really starting to build that momentum. So Third Impact need to be very cautious on how well they can play these last few rounds, and that's going to be a good start already. They try to change the pace, GGPR. Red Bull find him, and oh my gosh, this Molotov is so close to him. But now GGPR down with 1 number disadvantage.
Well, it's actually a personal nade by Brett onto Brett. That is, well, yeah, sad trombone times. I don't think I've seen that in a long time. I got a feel for Brett there.
He only had 3 HP too. He's, you think he was just trying to use his utility as much as possible, but he's like, nope, caught the corner of the wall and right back at me.
I'm surprised Beaky lives here. That boost actually saves his life. He sends some shots down range, connects a little bit of damage, but JT gets legged in due turn. So we still sit at a 4v4 stalemate, slightly favoring Third Impact in terms of damage, but the utility is heavily in the favor of GGPR. 2 Molotovs and 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs, 2 versus a pair of flashes over on Third Impact. It will be another 8 take from GGPR. They don't really seem to like their luck on B, and look at the stack behind Silo, Grape, and company here. Insane swing with his lowrider and Beaky. They're trading this out, but Danger is dropped. He's felled 1, but he needs 2 more. He sprays down another, and it's all down to Inshaniac versus Dangerous. Up versus AK. Tech 9 out now for Inshaniac, but it's Dangerous again. Another 3K out towards A, and it is on lock for Dane once again. A 1v3 this time, clutching up.
I mean, the sound cue too, like you could hear him spamming the 5.7C, and then he picks up this AK and he's able to pick up 2 big frags, but that first player tried to go for that engagement because he thought, hey, it's against a pistol. I'm gonna win this easy money. But no, it's gonna be Dangerous coming up again with a clutch play. I talked about him on this squad. He's the one that pulls up the big moments. He's the one that shines when the pressure's against him. But now they lose their offer, they lose Walker. GGPR now get that player advantage. We haven't seen that for quite some time. I mean, this is where Third Impact actually usually brings the fight to them. Now they're trying to reply to it, but they're not able to at all. And GGPR, all of a sudden, they completely flip the table. They leave it right down to Dane. This is a tall glass to take. A 1v5 clutch for the last round.
Well, he's almost started it off as good as can be expected with 1 kill. There he finally gets it. But Beaky's now going to cross over in towards credit cards, and I don't think Dane's expecting this. There's no way. Yeah, he's blindsided by Beaky, and this aggression outside from Third Impact to try and really mix things up doesn't pan out. But folks, we're going to hit the quick break right now, and we'll be back with half number 2.
Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Fly so high they can't touch us. So top notch, none above us. We done came so far, now we up now. Had a vision, stuck to it, never back down. Never had much, now we own the whole thing. Spread it all around the world, watch it all change. Came alive, now they all see the greatness. Light shine so hard they can't take it.
Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Come alive.
I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I passed the point of no return, something is calling me. It's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again. Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive. Oh, I see the signs and I see we're there. And I feel the lies and I feel the same.
Nuke is back once again. Half number 2 here. It was a very flashy end to what looked like a very stable half for Third Impact in the early going, but GGPR are able to go on a string of rounds. They bring it to within 3, and now this pistol round could basically leave us at a tie ball game at 9-9.
Yeah, really great half that we saw. I mean, GGPR were able to really pull themselves back together. I mean, it was a 9-6 that went in the favor for Third Impact. But like I said, this is now where this team does very well. They get the CT side. A lot of pressure is going to be riding on this pistol. They can bring this round